So this is my case book on the California rulemaking process. Um, it's about 540 odd pages. And, the purpose of this case book is to discuss the regulatory process in the state of California. Although based largely on the Federal Administrative Procedure Act, California's APA is quite similar to that used in the other 49 states. I think there are quite a few books and resources on the federal regulatory process, but not much by way of California administrative law and the rulemaking process here. I put this together in an effort to explore the state's rulemaking process, as I haven't seen it been done before in a case book for law students and college students. Now, the fundamentals of the state's rulemaking process, again, are pretty similar to those at the federal level in other states, but there are definitely some differences and some important considerations for those who are involved in the quasi-legislative activities or the rulemaking activities of California's more than 200 executive branch agencies, departments, boards, and commissions. Now, just to note that this casebook is focused on the rulemaking process, and it doesn't cover the other work of administrative agencies, such as their adjudicatory or other quasi-judicial activities. The case discusses the Office of it, or the casebook discusses the OAL, the Office of Administrative Law, but not OAH, the Office of Administrative Hearings, because OAH is not involved in rulemaking or the quasi-legislative work. So some of the things that I end up covering in this particular casebook certainly includes the statutory, like the government code provisions of the state agency rulemaking process. But I've also got an overview of agencies, an overview of the process itself. Then I get into delegation of authority by the legislature, especially pursuant to the APA. Discuss the Office of Administrative Law and its role, as well as some deep dives into the purposes and general provisions of the APA. A number of cases deal with determining whether agency actions actually constitute rulemaking. I also cover the public hearings under the APA, the economic impact analysis, even the SORIA process, then look at regulatory versus emergency rulemaking, also the issue of underground regulations and how they're handled under the APA and by OAL. I get into the 6 statutory standards of review of proposed regulations by OAL, and then turn to judicial review of regulations in compliance with the APA, trying to determine the validity of regulations, and then talk a little bit about some unique aspects, including legislators' ability as well as that of the public to petition to repeal or amend regulations, even some personal opinions related to the lobbying of state agencies and whether or not the California legislature should adopt exemptions or partial exemptions from the APA process by way of statute.